Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the What Juice channel, and welcome back to another post 2024 NFL Draft rebuild video. Recently, we've taken on the #1 overall pick, Chicago Bears, who drafted Caleb Williams out of USC. We won them a Super Bowl. We rebuilt them. Then, even more recently, we took on the #2 overall pick, Washington Commanders, and who they selected, the former Heisman Trophy winner from LSU, Jaden Daniels. We won them a Super Bowl. We rebuilt them. Now it's time for maybe the most important one. We are taking on the #3 overall pick, New England Patriots, and their selection, Drake Maye from North Kakalaki, North Carolina. So this is the most important one because, as you may or may not know, if you've been around the channel for a long time or for this is the first video you ever see of me, the New England Patriots are my favorite team. So this kind of is a double whammy, basically. One, we get to rebuild the 3rd overall pick team, and 2, we also get to rebuild my favorite team, which you guys know I have a history of rebuilding the Patriots in recent memory because they've been really bad as of the past couple of seasons since Tom Brady has gone. So the Patriots do need some help, and don't worry, there still will be 10-year rebuilds coming down the line towards the very, very end of the Madden 24 cycle, probably when around the same kind of time as the new college football game comes out. So the 10-year rebuilds will come back for a couple of months, and then we will get right into Madden 25 or whatever they end up calling it, where the first rebuild I always do on the new Madden game is of my favorite team, which is the Patriots. So you'll be seeing a lot of New England Patriot content on the channel in the near future. But today, we got to focus on getting this Patriots team back to the dominance of the 2000s and of the 2010s. We got to make this dynasty come back. Dynasty Part 3 is what we need, because we had obviously the 2 eras of Tom Brady dynasty, which was the 2000s dynasty, then it was the 2010s dynasty, and now we need the 2020 dynasty. Unfortunately, we don't have Tom Brady. We've got a new buck. We've got Drake Maye. I was a little bit concerned with the pick, not because I don't think Drake Maye is a talented quarterback or anything. I'm just concerned with the amount of talent around Drake Maye. This Patriots team has a decent defense. They were pretty decent last year. They kept us in some games that we arguably probably shouldn't have been in, and probably won us some games that we probably shouldn't have won. But this offense, for the past couple of years, the offensive line, the wide receivers, there's no weapons. The offensive coordinator was a defensive coordinator a couple of years ago with Matt Patricia. It's been a really weird stretch under the helm of Bill Belichick, the greatest of all time. But Belichick is no longer in charge. He is no longer the head coach of the New England Patriots for the first time in a long time. It is now first-year head coach, former middle linebacker for the Patriots, Jerod Mayo. He is now our new head coach. So it's a new era in New England, both in terms of who's in the front office, who's in the head coaching position, and who's behind the center. I hope we can get a championship, at least one championship for the Patriots. I'd obviously like to create a dynasty with these Patriots and win multiple, but I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. Let's get into this rebuild and rebuild my favorite team, the New England Patriots, with the #3 overall pick, Drake Maye, and hopefully we won't ever have to pick #3 ever again. So here we are. This is the same roster that I've used for both the Bears Caleb Williams video and the Jaden Daniels Commander video. This is the same roster that I'm using. So again, if you don't like any of the ratings, or you don't think there's a player in here or you don't see a player that you probably should, I want to point out one thing. I didn't make the roster. I just downloaded it. And 2, it's not technically finished just yet. It's got like rounds 1 through 6, I think, done of the draft. Maybe round 1 through 5. I don't know for sure. It's still a work in progress, basically. But it's got a lot of the main guys, and it's got a lot of the main guys that I care about. One being this man right here, Mr. Maye. Oh, it's gotta be Maye. Drake Maye, 6'4". He's got a big arm. That was one of his big attributes coming out of college, out of North Carolina. But I am a little hesitant because North Carolina don't have a great history of quarterbacks in the league. You got Trubisky, and you've got Sam Howell of recent memory. that have not really been all that great here in the NFL. But maybe Drake Maye can change that. He does come from a very athletic family. A lot of the Maye brothers were athletes in other sports, mainly basketball, I think. But Drake Maye, great athlete, 6'4", 229, 21 years old. Star development. I personally gave him star development like I gave Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels their development traits, because I do think that in the new Madden game, Drake Maye will at least have star development. I don't think he'll have superstar. I think that Caleb Williams is the only one that's going to have superstar. I may be wrong on that, but I do think that out of any quarterback, I think Caleb Williams has the best chance of having superstar development. But this is the rest of the team. It's a very weird team, but I think it's a good starting point. It's probably in the best position out of all the other teams, the Bears and the Commanders that we start with. You could argue the Bears might be in a better spot, but our offensive line's better than what the Bears have. And I think our defense is better than where the Bears were. So I think we're in a better starting position than where the Commanders and the Bears are. But it still doesn't mean it's going to be very easy. We've got a logjam at receiver now. I do think that in real life, Juju Smith-Schuster is either going to get cut or he's going to get traded in the preseason or in fall or summer camp or something like that. So I do think that Juju will not be on the team much longer. So I'm probably going to trade him for something in today's episode. Kendrick Bourne, I think they just re-signed, so he's coming back. They signed KJ Osborne in the offseason, or maybe they traded for him from the Vikings. I can't remember how they got him, but they have him on the team. Demario Douglas, I'm a big fan of. Pop Douglas, and then obviously our two young draft picks. I think it's Javon Baker, right? Yeah, Javon Baker. And then we obviously got Jalen Polk out of Washington down here. So hopefully these two guys plus Douglas can be the future of this team. But right now, having Kendrick Bourne and KJ Osborne is a nice 1-2 punch for Drake Maye to start out with. Obviously, we got Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson from free agency from the Commanders. We have Joe Milton down here as well. He's probably not going to ever play for us, but it's nice to have him on the team. Did they give him a big arm? Because I know he's got a huge arm in real life. 98 throw power. They certainly did give him a huge arm. So we're in a good spot on offense. We still have Hunter Henry. We have a decent offensive line. Cole Strange has never really turned out to be anything too great, but that's a Bill Belichick draft pick for you right there. I do like Michael Wenyu, though. Very good player. They did just give Christian Barmore in real life a massive extension. He doesn't have it in this game, or in this thing, so we'll have to give it our own massive extension when we get to it. And you may be wondering why there's rookies from this year's class that have hidden development traits. Because the rosters are combined. It's not going to be perfect until we get to the actual new game. So just let it ride. We have Taki, we have Jelani Tavai. I like both these guys, but they're not going to be long-term options for us. I really like Marte Mapu. Hopefully he can be something for us. I really like Keon White, but he didn't really show out too much in last year in real life. Hopefully he can do that in the game here. Obviously, I'm a big Christian Gonzalez fan. I even turned his number to number 0 because I think that's what he's switching to. He was number 6. Unfortunately, he suffered a big arm injury last year, maybe a shoulder injury, something like that kept him out for the entire rest of the season. He was out for a while too. He got hurt early in the season. He probably was on track to be in contention, maybe even win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we have big plans for Christian Gonzalez. He's probably going to be our number 1 corner pretty soon. And I'm a big Marcus Jones guy. I know he's just a little guy, but he's very fast. He is very athletic. He can play. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, basically. He can kick return. He can punt return. He can play corner somewhat because he's fast. He can keep up with guys. He can't really out-jump anybody. And he can also come on special teams or come on the offense and get a little bit of work as a receiver. Kind of like a somewhat Deebo Samuel type of role, where he stands back there and they hand him the ball and he takes off, or maybe a little wide receiver screen or something. But now we don't really need that because we have Demario Douglas, we have Jalen Polk, we have Javon Baker, we have KJ Osborne. So there's a lot of different guys that can fill that role as well. So we don't really need Marcus Jones. That was kind of in a desperate situation where we didn't really have a lot of explosion on the offense, so we had to create our own with a defensive guy. But now I feel like we have a little bit more explosion, or at least on paper, we have a little bit of explosion on the offense. So that's kind of the overview of what the team looks like and my feelings on the team this year. I think we could be pretty solid, at least not as bad as the 3rd overall pick. I don't think this team's going to be that bad, but they could surprise me. You never know. I did load in the draft class. We just have an auto-generated draft class. It's nothing too crazy. Ooh, but there's there's 2 top pass rushers in between quarterback. Okay, it's a lot of quarterbacks and then 2 defensive linemen. 6'5", 6'5", UCLA, Ole Miss, Terrell Seymour, and Joel Herbert. Joel Hebert. Hebert? I don't know. If I draft him, I might put an R in his name just to call him Herbert. But those two guys look pretty decent. And obviously our draft picks are what they were last year because it didn't update. So we have the pick that we took Drake Maye with that ended up being number 3. I don't think, now that we have Drake Maye, I don't think that pick is going to end up being number 3. But Madden simulation can be pretty weird sometimes. Maybe we'll be bad. I don't know. We're going to simulate year number 1. I will probably bring you guys back in at week number 8 so we can get the scouting stuff figured out and then go to week 11 and get all that stuff done. But I think this team should be, at least I hope, this team is going to be better than they played in real life. Drake Maye, let's see what he does. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, they both had pretty good rookie years when we did their rebuilds. So I'm hoping Drake Maye can continue that trend and have a pretty good rookie year. Okay, so halfway through the year, the team has not simulated very well. We have 1 win in Drake Maye's rookie season, but I guess that could be good in the long term because then we get a really good player in the draft. At least that's, in theory, what happens. Since we are so bad, I think it's high tide time that we go on tour. I think it's time that we trade away Juju Smith-Schuster. He's just kind of dead weight at this point. 26 years old. No disrespect to Juju. I know he's a very, very good guy, but in the world of Madden simulation, you're not going to get the job done. What can we get for him? Ooh, we can get Cole Kmet from Chicago. Okay. I kind of like that. Dalvin Tomlinson, don't really need that. Isaiah Hodgins. Emmanuel Mosley. I'm a big Emmanuel Mosley guy. Don't think that I want him, though. But I do like him. Cole Kmet's a very interesting. He's only 24 years old. 82 overall. I kind of like this. We also get a couple picks that don't really affect us that much. I think I'm gonna send Juju to the Bears and get Cole Kmet back. That picks up a really good tight end to pair alongside Hunter Henry. That's a nice little 1-2 punch. And Hunter Henry's on the last year of his deal. Cole Kmet can just be the guy. He's very cheap. He can just be the guy. That frees up room so Demario Douglas now becomes our number 2 receiver, then KJ Osborne. I don't know what we're going to do with KJ Osborne. Maybe we keep him around. I kind of want to develop Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. So one of these two guys, Bourne or Osborne, probably gets traded. Maybe Kendrick Bourne does. Is there anybody else that we need to just get rid of? Who's kind of just a bad contract that I don't want anymore? Probably Okafor, but we need a right tackle right now, or a left tackle. We need a tackle, so we got to keep him around for right now. Dietrich Wise has kind of got a bad contract, and I kind of want to just develop Keon White, so maybe we can get something for Dietrich. We can get Bryce Hall. I do like it, Bryce Hall. If you're a fan of the Brooklyn Barons, you know Bryce Hall can be a stud. Walker Little, that might be interesting, but he's normal development. Offensive lineman with normal development don't really do that well. The Bryce Hall one is interesting because if we add in Bryce Hall to this team, we have Jonathan Jones, Christian Gonzalez, Marcus Jones, and then Bryce Hall would be right here above Marco Wilson. So that'd be 4 receivers or 4 corners that I like. I think that could be pretty solid. Let's bring in Bryce Hall. He's only 25 years old. We ship off Dietrich Wise. We can get a nice little development trait for Keon White. Maybe he can turn into something. Anthony Jennings, Sion Taki, and there's Bryce Hall right there. I don't think there's anybody else at this moment that I want to trade away. So I think we'll just keep what we have. Maybe we trade away Jacoby Brissett because he's making way too much money to be a backup quarterback. Nobody wants him. Okay. Can I package him with somebody else? Can I package him with Kendrick Bourne? Bengals really want to get rid of Zach Moss, apparently. Kendrick Bourne does not have the value I was hoping for. We can bring in Isaiah Hodgins, but that doesn't really help out that much. There's Emmanuel Mosley again. We can bring Chandler Jones back to New England. That could be pretty fun, but I'm not going to do that. Ooh, Willie Gay. Ooh, I'm a big Willie Gay guy. Oh, I'm a big Gay guy. Oh, I like that a lot. I'm going to do that. Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Brissett to the Saints. We get in Willie Gay. Sorry, Kendrick. I like you as a player in real life, but I'm opening up for these youngsters. I'm opening up for the youngsters, and that brings in Willie Gay to the team. He's going to have a nice role to play on this team. We can bring him back. We don't have to re-sign Taki. We can bring him back, and we can do some real damage with this team. I like that now. I think that's the only other guy. Taki would be the only other guy that I would trade, but I'll wait till the offseason if I want to do that. So now the team looks a little strange and maybe a little bit worse, but at this point we only got 1 win halfway through the year. How bad are we, or how good are we trying to be? So now Pop Douglas becomes the number 1 receiver on the team. I like that. Jalen Polk is going to be our number 2 receiver. Osborne will be 3. Then we'll move Javon Baker up a little bit. All right. Cole Kmet added to the team. Drake May's got another weapon to throw to. And now Keon White gets to start. Love to see that. Bryce Hall fills in right there. Okay. So we added a few pieces. Added a few extra little pieces there. Nothing too crazy. And now we go to the player negotiations. Do we have we have a lot of money. Oh, definitely Micah when you need to bring to a new contract. There's actually a lot of people that we have to get new contracts for. So, and luckily everybody wants to be here. So that's, except for Uche. But we have enough money to do it. So Onwenu, I'm going to lock you up for a long time because I'm a big Michael Onwenu guy. And he wants to be here, so we don't have to go crazy. He's going to come back. Perfect. Kyle Duggar, absolutely want to bring him back, so we'll give him a 4-year deal. $5 million across the board. Perfect. Uche, I'm going to bring back as well. Antonio Gibson, I'm going to bring back. I'm a big Antonio Gibson guy. I like him. I think he's very good. So we will bump his money up to about 3.5 like that, and he will accept. So he's back as our backup. Willie Gay, we're obviously going to extend because we just traded for him. So we'll give him $4 million, and we'll give him $4 million for 5 seasons. He's coming back. $67 million. Taki, Bailey Zappi. I could bring Bailey Zappi back just for the lulz, but I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see. Hunter Henry's interesting. We just brought in our guy Cole Kmet, so I don't know what I want to do with Hunter Henry. He's kind of expensive. He's kind of expensive, but we will bring back Josh Uche. He's back now. $55 million. We might just send both of these guys to different teams. See what we can get for him. I will offer Bailey Zappi a contract just because. Just for the lulz. We'll offer him a contract. 2 years, he's coming back. So we have 3 quarterbacks now. We have Zappi, and obviously we have Milton. So let's get simulated here, although I want to do the national focus. We have defensive end and defensive tackle as our strengths. But luckily, that's neither the strength or the weakness of the entire class. I think I'm going to go defensive end because those top players are defensive ends. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about them as we go through the rest of this first season. Because we very well could be picking one of them. Let's get to week 11 now and figure out what this class looks like. So, of course, the first game we simulate after we trade all those guys away is a victory over the Miami Dolphins. Because that makes sense, Madden. That makes total sense. We lose to the Commanders. Let's get to week 11. We don't have a game this week, but we can do the scouting. We will beat the Colts. Somehow we've won 2 games since I traded away all those guys. But we get some big upgrades. That's cool. All right, let's get to the scouting. Let's do our thing here. We have 95%. Oh, Terrell Seymour's a top 5 talent. I'm intrigued. Tickling my pickle. Finesse moves, power move. Oh, this dude looks real good. His physicals are pretty good too, or at least they have the potential to be pretty good. He's 6'5". He is 23 years old. How old is Joel Hebert? He's 21 years old. Ooh. He's got B pursuit. Didn't Seymour have A pursuit? He does. Ooh, these 2 guys are very similar. They're not exactly the same, but they are very similar. I am intrigued by the both of them. Let's learn about some other guys. Let's learn about some offensive tackles, probably. We probably need to learn about some offensive tackles or maybe some offensive linemen in general. So let's go straight to them. Let's go to the left guards because we could need one. Definitely going to need a center. Well, we don't need a center, but we could just move these guys to, like, guard. That's probably a better option than actually drafting a guard, except for maybe this guy. Will Livingston, 6'5" out of Tennessee. A teammate of Joe Milton? Maybe. I'm going to use one of them on him in the future. Definitely this guy, too. Artie Hill. Ooh, Artie Hill. Hello, mamacita. I like that. I like that a lot. And I think I'm going to do this guy, Andy Anderson. So we'll go with him. We'll go with Artie Hall. And we will go with Will Livingston. All, I think, round 3 to 4, right? Yeah, so we can get some good value if these guys end up being pretty good. That's some good value. And we're probably going to have a top pick in the draft. Or at least I can trade up to get a top pick in the draft. Because those offensive line or defensive linemen look real good. They look real good. The standings, where are we sitting at? We currently have the 2nd pick. With the Vikings, the Colts. A lot of teams have 3 wins on the year. But the Falcons suck. They are a team on my list because they drafted Michael Penix number 8 overall, which is absurd. But they did do it. They did do it. And I don't think there's any way I can get an extra first-round pick. I'd have to probably trade away something pretty valuable. What would the Bears want for this pick? They want a couple picks. They want Duggar and Jones. I could consider trading Jonathan Jones, but I'm not going to trade Kyle Duggar. We'll figure it out. If we need to trade for another first-round pick, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. But I'm going to cut now to the end of the season, and we'll see where we finish. Hopefully, we still finish pretty bad, so we have a top pick in the draft. But knowing Madden, they're probably going to screw me and make me win like 6 games or 7 games or something like that. That seems pretty normal of what they do. But I'll catch you guys at the end of year number 1. I wanted to bring you guys back in because I didn't think this is actually going to happen. This is only a couple weeks since I cut. Christian Barmore has now superstar development. He had an upgrade. He had a breakout scenario, and I didn't think he was actually going to get it because it's very difficult in the simulation to get star to superstar. But he did. So Christian Barmore is now a superstar development player on the defensive line. I did not think this was going to happen. That's why I wasn't even really recording. But yeah, Christian Barmore now superstar development. That's awesome. That's huge. Christian Barmore is a good player in real life, kind of underrated. But he's now superstar development, so that really helps out the team. Now we can simulate to the end of the season, and if anything else crazy happens, I'll bring you guys back in. But if not, I'll see you guys at the end of the year. We made it to the end of the year. Drake Maye's rookie season did not go necessarily as I would have liked it to. 4-13 on the season, but how did he progress? That's the real big question. Did he at least play pretty well? He had 3,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. This could also be a cause of the playbook being just not very good. That's a possibility. But that's not a bad rookie season by any means. That's pretty solid. I'd say that's actually even teetering towards that's pretty good. Rushing, Ramondre Stevenson did pretty good on the ground. Drake Maye had a couple yards on the ground with a touchdown. Nice. Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas, had 947 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's what I like to see. And Jalen Polk, the actual rookie from this year, 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. Okay, so it looks like, and Cole Kmet got a lot of yards too. It looks like the guy that I want to develop, the 2 guys that I want to develop, are actually getting a lot of the touches. That's nice to see. Jelani Tavai, wow. 129 tackles, Juwan Bentley, 109, Gonzalez, 98. Marcus Jones, 89. Matthew Judon, 20 tackles for loss. Barmore had 18. Obviously, you guys saw he went up to superstar development. Sack leader is Matthew Judon with 10.5. Barmore had 4. Keon White had 3. Jones had 3 picks. 2 for Bentley and Marcus Jones, 1 for a couple other guys. All right, so not the opening season that I wanted, but it's going to work out. Trust me, we are going to be a Super Bowl team in the future. Drake Maye is going to turn out to be a very, very good player. I may even change the playbook. I may change the playbook. I don't know. I've been testing around some playbooks. We've tested out Buffalo. We've tested out Cincinnati. We obviously know how good Kansas City and Dallas playbooks are. So there's a couple different options that I'm not sure what we're going to do. But I think I'll give it one more year with New England's playbook. If we continue to be bad next season and we're around the same kind of range, even with all these additions in the draft picks and maybe even some free agents, whoever knows. If we're still bad, then we'll talk about playbooks a little bit more seriously. But right now, we'll keep Patriots. Dak Prescott wins the MVP of the Super Bowl. Okay, now we know that this is Madden. Now we know it's Madden because Dak Prescott's MVP of the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys actually won the Super Bowl. It's kind of crazy. Mahomes gets MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. Rashee Rice, he's super fast. He got Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Tyree Wilson actually wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. So obviously, it's not the rookies from this past class. That's what happens when you combine and merge both classes. Let's get to the offseason, though. I did re-sign a couple of people, I think. I think I re-signed... Did I show you guys that? Or did I not show you guys that? I don't remember what I showed you or not. But I re-signed a couple of people. We have 66... Oh, I did show you because we talked about all these guys. And unfortunately, it looks like it's glitched where all of our rookies have one-year deals. I think that's because they were on the... I know why it is. Because they were on the practice squad and I had to sign them to the actual team. So that's why they only have one-year deals. Okay, so we'll just get these guys locked up. It's not going to be that expensive. We'll give Jalen Polk a 4-year deal because that would kind of... Then he's already played a year. That would be like his 5th year. Okay, it'll work out. We'll give him like $4 million and $2.5 million. He's coming back. Hunter Henry and Sione Takitaki I'm probably going to trade. Javon Baker will put him on the same deal, 4 years, $4 million and $3 million. He's going to come back. And then Layden Robinson also was drafted this year. We'll give him a 3-year contract because he didn't get drafted in the first round. Neither did Polk, but it's fine. Or not Polk. Well, he didn't get drafted either. It was only Drake Maye. But neither did Baker. But we get Robinson back, and then we got to get Marcellus Dial back on a 3-year contract. We'll give him $3 million and $3 million, and he's coming back. So we got all of our rookies back. Raekwon McMillan, I love you, Raekwon, but you're just not good enough at 28 years old. Austin Hooper's going to get got. And then Henry's probably getting traded as well. So let's just put those guys into a trade and see what we can get. Maybe this is how we get an extra first-round pick. Probably not. There's no way that we're going to get a first-round pick for Hunter Henry and Sione Takitaki. There's absolutely no way. But we're going to run out of tight ends, though. We might have to sign Austin Hooper so that we have a backup tight end. And Sione Takitaki, let's see what we can get for you. We can get Baron Browning. I like that. Ooh, Tuli Peloto. He develops pretty well. At least he has in previous rebuilds. Shaq Thompson, Quay Walker. Man, they're throwing out some enticing young players here. I like the Baron Browning one. Not only because he's a Buckeye, but because he's pretty good. But I like this Tuli Peloto. Ooh, I like that a lot. Do I want the established Baron Browning, who's already a 79 overall at 25 years old, or do I want the young potential of Tui Peloto? I want the young potential of Tui Peloto. I can't pass that up. That's too crazy. That's too awesome of a trade not to take. Got to take Tui Peloto. He's very good. I don't know how he's going to be in real life, but he's very good if he gets the chance to develop. So we're looking weird on offense. We got to sign Austin Hooper, so we'll do that. And then Tui Peloto and Willie Gay now added to the team with Josh Uche. Judon actually went up to X Factor. Interesting. What I might do is I might move Judon down to the defensive line, move Barmore inside, and run a 4-3. I might do that, actually. Let's change the scheme fit here. Offensive scheme fit needs to be a little bit better, so we'll run vertical power run. And we will run a... Yeah, they want us to run a 4-3 anyway, so we'll run a 4-3. And we'll move Judon down to the defensive line. We'll move Barmore inside so we can be more of an inside D tackle. There we go. Move him there. And then we'll move Judon down to the bottom so that Uche and Tui Peloto can play. So we'll edit Judon. We'll make him a left end, and he can go out there and play on the defensive line. Bada bing, bada boom, generate best lineup. Okay, perfect. So now Uche, Jelani Tavai, Willie Gay, all these guys, and Tui Peloto can all try to fight for these linebacker spots. All right, I like the defensive line a little bit more now. I don't know what we're going to do with Jelani Tavai because Willie Gay and Uche both got to play somehow. We probably move Willie Gay to middle linebacker. And then we move Uche outside to the other spot at right. That's probably what I end up doing. But I'll figure it out once we get through the draft. Because remember, we're going to be drafting one of those defensive linemen, so this could all change. This could all change in a matter of seconds. But I do have to re-sign Austin Hooper because we need a backup tight end, and he's right here for us. So we might as well get him back. He's coming back. Raekwon McMillan and Connor McDermott can both kick rocks, and then we will get to free agency. I don't think I'm going to be spending any crazy amounts of money in free agency unless there's somebody on the offensive line, maybe a tackle. That's probably what I would be looking for. Amari Cooper's here. Patrick Queen is here. I think I signed Patrick Queen in one of the other rebuilds. Was it the Bears or was it the Commanders? It was one of them. I feel like I went after, and I might have gotten. Gabe Davis is here. Some of the contracts are going to be messed up, obviously. Odell is here. Kendrick Bourne's here. Let's look at tackles. Is there any tackles? Taylor Lewan, Cameron Fleming, former Patriot Cameron Fleming. Centers, right guard, right tackle. Thayer Munford. I'm going to offer him a contract. That's a nice little depth piece. I don't think he's going to start for me, but I do like Thayer Munford. So we will offer him. Defensive line, D tackle, outside linebackers, middle linebackers, corners. Quinyon Mitchell made it to free agency. Yeah, see, some of these contracts get a little glitched, and I'm going to take advantage of that because I like Quinyon Mitchell. It's my video. Don't expect realism, okay? I'm going to go for Quinyon Mitchell. Adding him to this cornerback room would be awesome. Having him and Christian Gonzalez as a team, fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right, so those are going to be the only guys that I offer, though. Mitchell and Munford. And we got both of them. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Got both of them. Not my fault the contracts get messed up. I'm going to take advantage of it. Generate the best lineup. And we add Thayer. So Thayer Munford will start at right tackle until we figure out a different option. That's fine, I guess. And then Quinyon Mitchell, Christian Gonzalez. Ooh, this cornerback room looks real good now. Once Jonathan Jones gets out of there, I might even package Jonathan Jones and Jelani Tavai into a trade. I might do that. That might be something we take on because that's going to be all the guys that we go after in free agency. We still got a little bit of money left, so we're still looking pretty good. I'm very curious to see what we actually got as our draft pick, though. I don't even know if we got number 2, if we got number 1, if we got number 3. Like, where did we go in the draft? Are we picking top 5? Are we picking top 3? What's happening here? How many teams played bad? When we last checked, was it week 11 or week 8? Well, around that time, we checked and we were a number 2 pick. I hope we stayed around that spot. Here's mock draft number 5, and we are picking at number 1. Okay. We are picking at number 1 in the draft this year. So we already got our quarterback. We don't have to worry about that. We can grab one of these freaky pass rushers. I am going to use one of my other things to figure out exactly how good Joel Hebert is. Hebert. We're going to find out for sure because I think he's going to be pretty good. He probably is going to be a top 5 player just like the other dude is. And then we'll have to make a tough decision. We'll have to make a tough decision on do we trade up for both of them or do we trade to get both of them? How do we get this? How do we get both of them? So it looks like he's actually fallen down. Where did he go? He's down here. Wow. He's not even a top 5 talent anymore. Very interesting. He's fallen 10 spots. Last time we looked, he was the number 1 player in the class. Mike Melton, who are you? Hello, baby doll. And then let's go back to the offensive line. We looked at some of these guys. Yeah, we looked at these guards and these centers. Let's find out exactly how good some of them are. So let's look for who should we use this last on? Probably let's use it on Will Livingston because I think the center Artie Hill is going to be very, very good. So those will be the guys. We will know hopefully how good Hebert is. Hebert. I'm going to call him Hebert. We'll know how good he is. Can I package Tavai and maybe even Jawan Bentley, but definitely Jonathan Jones? Can I package these two guys together and get something crazy? We don't need any more corners. KJ Hamler. That's not real. What? What? That's just not possible. Malik Neighbors? Michael Mayer? Oh my god. Jelani Tavai and Jonathan Jones are able to get some insane value. That's a cool one. I like the Michael Mayer one. But we can get Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison. Okay. I think obviously we're gonna go with Marvin Harrison. I'm not gonna pass on Marvin. I mean, are you kidding me? You're gonna throw me Marvin Harrison and expect me to say no to that? You're crazy if you expect me to say no to that. So that's a huge pickup. We get Marvin Harrison on the team. Love Marvin Harrison. And Jawan Bentley's probably going to have to get got. So who can we get? Ooh, Edgerrin Cooper. Can we get anybody decent for Jawan Bentley? We can get a couple draft picks, but nothing too crazy. What about if I build my own trade? Who could we possibly get? We need a tackle. Let's go for a right tackle. I know we just signed Munford, but let's see if we can trade for a right tackle. We could go for Paris Johnson. That could be pretty fun. I think that'd be a little bit more difficult than just Jawan Bentley. But if there's nobody else, we're not going to get Penei Sewell. I love Penei Sewell, but we're not going to be able to get him. I know we could probably get Mekhi Becton fairly easily, but that's kind of like a backup plan. It's kind of like a backup plan. I kind of want to get... There's J.C. Latham. I kind of want to get Paris Johnson. So is this going to be possible? No. Okay. That's not going to be possible. I'd probably have to throw in some draft picks. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. What do they have? They don't even have a trade package for me. They don't want anything on my team. They're like, get out of here. They don't want anything on my team. Okay, so Paris Johnson's not an option. But Mekhi Becton is a very, very simple option. He could be pretty good. He has superstar development. Can we do this straight up? Very close. Very close to straight up. Do I have any other bad contracts I don't want anymore? Well, we aren't going to need... We're not going to need one of these guys, Okafor or Munford. Probably not going to need Okafor anymore, so Okafor can get got. And that's boom. No draft picks involved. Juwan Bentley and Okafor going to the Raiders. We get back Mekhi Becton. Well, that's pretty fun. And since I did trade for Marvin Harrison, I'm not going to go crazy and give him, like, superstar development or anything like that. We'll keep him at normal, and he'll develop how he develops. But that's awesome, getting freaking Marvin Harrison. I did not expect that when I loaded that trade in. I did not expect to be able to find Marvin Harrison. So let's move Willie Gay to center, or not center, middle linebacker. And then Uche moves to right, Tui Peloto moves to left, and we're good to go. So Willie Gay is now our inside middle linebacker. Bada bing, bada boom. Uche is now our right, and Tui Peloto is now our left. Perfect. Love that. And then Judon's down here. And we can all change this if we do a little bit of drafting on that defensive lineman. Because I think he's going to be a stud. I really do. So let's advance to the actual draft. This has been a crazy first year. This has been a crazy first year. All right, so we have the #1 pick in the draft. How good is that Hebert guy? How good is he? He ends up being a top 5 pick. So he has fallen a little bit, but he still is a true top 5 talent. I think I'm going to stick with Terrell Seymour because he looks like a freak. He is the older of the two, but he looks like an absolute freak. Hebert, I think, was only 21, right? Yeah, he's only 21. He also looks like a freak. But I think Seymour's hopefully a little bit better. So I think I'm going to stick with that. And we'll take Seymour. All right, start drafting. #1 pick in the draft. We could trade down and take Hebert. Still come away with Hebert and still have a good draft. We could trade down with the Vikings to pick #3. We would pick up a 2nd-round pick this year and a 1st-round pick next year. That could be pretty useful. It's just about taking... If we think Seymour is generational, then we should take him at 1. If I think that Hebert, we can get same value with Hebert, then we should take him. We're only moving down to 3, plus we're picking up a 2nd, a 1st, and a 5 and a 7. Those don't really matter, but... do I want to trade down and lose out on Seymour? Because he looks really good, but they look very similar. They're very similar players. Although the difference could be their development trait. Who knows if one of them has X Factor, one of them only has like star or something. So I'd be probably making the wrong decision if I missed out on that. But this is a very enticing deal to move down to 3. How much do I value that 1st-round pick in 2025? That's the big question. How much do I value that pick? I'm going to do it. We're going to miss out on Seymour. Unless the Falcons and Vikings don't take him, we still get him at 3. No, but Terrell Seymour goes #1 overall. He was the true #1 overall pick. And then we're going to take Hebert at 3. And we'll still come away with a great defensive lineman. This is mainly... We didn't need a defensive lineman as bad as we may have initially did. So, trading down, getting extra picks, especially that pick next year, and coming away still with a top 5 talent. I mean, he's a top 5 talent in this class. So, we still came away with good picks. And now we have two picks here in the 2nd round as well, thanks to the Vikings. So, where do we go next? We probably have to focus on offensive line, I think. We don't need receiver now that we added Marvin. We don't need D-tackle. We don't need tight end because we have Cole Kmet. Offensive line. So Andy Anderson's still available. Artie Hill is still available. And all the guards are still available. This guy's actually around 2 to 3 true talent. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I probably should have focused a little bit more on tackle because you got 2 tackles here. You've got the guy from Ohio State, Kevin Dobbins, who looks like he could be a pretty solid player. And then you got Kyle Ware. If there's no significant difference between them, actually, I think that Dobbins is the better player. I think I'm going to grab Kevin Dobbins. mainly he's from Ohio State, so that helps me out a little bit. Oh, but he's normal development. That doesn't help me out. That's kind of a miss there, but that's okay. He still could end up being pretty good. He could be a pretty good overall. All right, then we have pick 3 of the second round. So I think this is where we take one of the other players that we looked at. I think we're going to grab Will Livingston here. He looks pretty good. Oh, another normal development. Really, Will? Really? You look really good, though. But having that normal development really hurts. I don't think we're going to get both of the other guys. I think one of them will have been gone. Probably the left guard will be gone. I think the center has a chance to be there. Yes, the left guard is gone. Oh, wait, no, the left guard's not gone. He's not gone. I just saw him there. I thought he was at the top one. He's right here. Andy Anderson's right there. But I am going to take Artie Hill because I think Artie Hill's going to be good. And he can probably play both center and guard. So, boom, Artie Hill. No, you got to be kidding me. Another freaking normal development lineman. Oh, the drafting god is missing on his picks. Maybe we'll get lucky and that Andy Anderson guy is still available. Maybe he'll have development trait. Andy Anderson, no, he's gone. Okay. I didn't think he was going to make it. He looked too good. He's probably the one that did have a development trait. Oh, that sucks, man. Not getting any development traits on the offensive line is brutal. But we did come away with a good player on the defensive line, so. Who's this guy? This guy is... Oh, I thought I saw somebody else. Bryson Spears, 6'2". Elite speed, elite acceleration. You're my guy. That's all I needed to hear. Bryson Spears, welcome to the club. 86 speed, 91 excel. I like that a lot. Daddy likes. And I think that's going to be the end of the draft. We're just going to end the draft there. 5, 6, and 7 CPU can take. Usually they take development trait players anyway, so. Kind of a miss with those offensive linemen. They both look, I mean, they all look really good. Just not having development trait makes it look a little bit worse than it actually may be. Oh, they're all in the 70s. They're not that bad. Hebert actually is a 78 overall. I'll take that. That's a big W. That's already higher than Keon White. Dobbins a 73, 72 for Livingston, and a 73 for Hill. And then Spears ends up being a 74. All right, big dubs. We had a lot of picks, actually. A lot of 6th-round picks. My God. Those guys are going to be getting cut, probably. And then let's go see how good that Seymour guy was. So Mike Melton was an 84 overall. Wow. Seymour and Hebert were both 78 overalls. So, I mean, we kind of just swapped players. But the real big thing is, what is Seymour's development trait? If it's anything higher than Star, or if it's going to be higher than Hebert's, then we missed out. Please don't be anything crazy. It is Superstar. I'm not going to look at Hebert's, but it is Superstar. So we'll have to keep that in the back of our minds when we find out what Hebert's development trait actually is. But that's a little bit of a brutal one. I did get a 1st-round pick for next year, so we'll have to hope the Vikings are still pretty bad. But that could, in theory, be a bad trait if we miss out on a superstar development defensive lineman. And I think Keon White, even though we made room for him to start here in... oh, Dobbins actually going to start at left tackle. Okay. Even though we made it room for him to start, he's probably going to get... Yeah, he's going to get moved down by Hebert. So the defensive line looks pretty crazy. Linebackers look good. Corners look great. Safeties look good. This is a much better team than a 4-win team. So hopefully Drake Maye, this man right here, can take that next step and ascend to superstardom. He's got all the attributes, all the measurables. So I'm going to simulate the season. We will see you at the end of the year, and we will discuss if I made a wrong choice by not taking Seymour and taking Hebert instead. So we'll find out. I'll catch you guys at the end of year number 2. We wrap up year number 2 with Drake Maye. We made the playoffs. We had a much better year. I figured that this team was good enough to win more than 4 games, and it looks like we were. We won 10 games. We make the playoffs. We sneak in, and we have to play the Buffalo Bills, which is not a good prize for making the playoffs. Let's take a look at the stats, though. Let's take a look at the stats. Drake Maye, he's got more weapons now. He's got quarterback of the future tag and day 1 starter. That's nice to know. 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's another solid season. I think this is going to be the time where we switch the playbooks. I think it's just that time. I don't think we're going to be doing much with the Patriot playbook. It's just not really working out too well. Ramondre Stevenson killed it. He had a really good year. 1,300 yards and 23 touchdowns. That's insane. Marvin Harrison, he comes into the team and has 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. KJ Osborne did good. Jalen Polk got 1 ball. That's not good. I don't know why he fell down the board. He's supposed to be like the 2nd or 3rd receiver on the team. But KJ Osborne, you might have to get traded. Defensively, yes, Willie Gay had 121 tackles. Love to see that. Quinion Mitchell had a good season, at least in terms of tackles. Judon, 15 tackles for loss. Hebert, 14 and 12 sacks as a rookie. Rookie of the year. Thank you very much. Christian Barmore had 14 as well. Judon led the team with 14.5 sacks. Hebert had 12 and then 7.5 for Barmore. 3 interceptions for Willie Gay. Marte Mapu, Jones, and Peppers all had 2. A couple guys had 1. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But now we have to go and play the Buffalo Bills, which is not going to go very well, I don't think. I think it's going to be a one and done in the playoffs. And it is. We got destroyed by the Buffalo Bills. No surprise there. But Drake Maye's now an 82 overall. And before I forget, we are going to change the playbooks here. What playbook should we go to, though? What playbook should we go to? Do we have a better vertical run? We have vertical zone run. We'll still run the 4-3. Offensive playbooks. Let's rock with a little bit of... Maybe we could rock Buffalo. We could certainly rock 49er offense. Bengal playbook seems to work pretty well sometimes. You know what? Let's rock Bengal playbook for a little bit. Maybe that'll get the numbers up for Drake Maye and the numbers up for the wide receivers as well. So that'll be the offensive playbook. We'll keep the Patriot defensive playbook because Patriots usually have a pretty good defensive playbook. So that's what we'll do. And we will get to the Super Bowl. We'll get to the second offseason. We'll see what is going to take place. It's the Jaguars and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Okay. And I do see 2 skill points for Hebert. That means most likely he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, as you do when you have all the sacks and all the tackles that he did have. So it looks like we did win out. We got the right guy. Cowboys win back-to-back Super Bowls. This definitely is a freaking video game if the Dallas Cowboys are winning back-to-back Super Bowls in the years of 2023 and 2024. Season recap. Dak wins back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs, and he also gets regular season MVP. Oh, the Cowboys just killed it this year. They had Dak win the MVP, Coach of the Year. They had CeeDee Lamb win Offensive Player of the Year. Max Crosby takes Defensive Player of the Year. And Terrell, wait. Whoa. Terrell Seymour gets Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Vikings, the guy that went number 1 overall. Are they going to jip me out of a Defensive Rookie of the Year? That means he's going to go up to X Factor. What's my guy? What? Stevenson's Superstar Development. That's awesome. He's Superstar. So does he go up naturally? Did he have Superstar? No, he had Star. It says he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So does that mean he won Best Defensive Lineman? He had Star Development because he gets the Dev Trade upgrade. We need to go in and do a little bit of investigation here. Let's go to Minnesota. Minnesota. He's our best player overall. My God. Minnesota. Where is Seymour? He has X Factor now. That's confirmed. His progression history. He won Defensive... You can't both win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who won it? Who won Defensive Rookie of the Year? They both says they won it. So does that mean one of them won Best Defensive Lineman? Is that what I'm supposed to take from this? Because I don't think if I go to the awards, I don't think I can, right? Yeah, it's all locked. So who won what? I don't, whatever, man. I don't know. At least we got a guy with Superstar Development now. That makes me a little bit happier. It just sucks that the guy that we could have taken now has X Factor. But maybe with another good season, Hebert can get X Factor too, so we're not in that bad of a spot. Plus, we have Vikings pick. I think the Vikings were pretty good this year, but we still have their pick anyway. We have $106 million. Now's the time we can give Christian Barmore his extension, and we will do just that. 5-year deal. He wants to be here, so we don't have to go too crazy. We'll give him like 9 and 9.5, and he's going to come back. Perfect. Thank you, Christian. Ramondre is going to get signed back because he just got Superstar Development, so it's certainly going to bring him back. Absolutely. We need a running back. So Ramondre can come back. He's going to be back. $78 million. Judon at 33 is interesting. Except the option on Cole Strange. Who else needs an option? Is there anybody else that needs an option? No. David Andrews will bring back a little 2-year deal, maybe $5 million on the bonus. He's coming back. $70 million. Bryce Hall, certainly want to get him back. 3 and 2. He's back. Devon Godshow, we'll get a little 2-year deal on him as well. He's also returning. Marco Wilson. Marco. Do I want Marco or Sean Wade? I think I'd probably have Marco. Mainly because he wants to be here more so than Sean Wade does. No disrespect to Sean Wade. I'm a big Sean Wade guy. Buckeye, really good player. Shouldn't have turned into a corner. Should have played safety. He was unbelievable as a safety. Then when he turned to a corner, he sucked. So no disrespect to you, Sean, but you're just you're gonna go to free agency and sign with somebody else. Jabril Peppers, we probably should bring back. He is 29, so we'll give him a 5-year contract. We'll pay him like $12 million and maybe like $8 million. And he's not coming back. Franchise tag would be $16 million. We can afford that. We can franchise tag Jabril Peppers. And now it's left to Matt Judon. I'm not going to go too crazy on an offer. If he accepts that, he's going to play for a new team next year. Wow, okay. I was kind of hoping he would sign that. But I didn't want to pay him too crazy. It's still, we're not out of the running for Matt Judon. We can still offer him a contract here in free agency, but I just wish we would have got him back without having to do this. So there's some interesting players here, and here's Matt Judon. He doesn't want to be here. He's got 3 offers. Oh, it's because Gerard Mayo doesn't have a good historic winning percentage. That makes sense. He wants to play for a winner, but he doesn't see the vision. He's too closed-minded. He doesn't see the vision of the Patriots. We got plans, baby. We got plans. So I'll give him that contract. That's probably going to be the only guy that I offer. We'll keep our money. I don't think there's going to be any receivers we need. No offensive linemen that we need. We are the Broncos are in on Matt Judon. Very interesting. I can't go too much higher than that. We might as well just let him walk if that's going to be the case. Might as well just let him walk because I'm not paying him that much more money. He's not worth that much at 33 years old. So if we get him, we get him. If we don't, we don't. Let's go find out. He signed, and he signed with Denver. Matt Judon is now playing for a new team. Only on a 1-year deal. But he is now playing for a new team. Good luck, Matt Judon, up in Denver. Hope you join the Mile High Club. But we now need to look for a replacement at the defensive line position. I guess we don't need a replacement because Keon White and Hebert can just slide over. They can now switch, and now Keon White can actually start. So I guess we don't need a replacement. It's probably a good thing that we saved that money then. All right, let's get to the draft. I don't know what picks we have. Probably in the 20s for our pick. Maybe the late teens, maybe like 18, 19, something like that. Let's find out. Mock draft number 5. A tackle is going to go number 1. Our pick is slotted at 20 and 24. So that's probably the Vikings because I think this is us. So this is probably the Vikings at 24. And they have us taking a vertical threat, Bob Lynn. A tight end named Bob. I like it. He looks pretty good, actually. Looks pretty good. All right, so we will find out what the game plan is for the trades. What is the game plan for the draft picks? Do we need a trade? What do we got to do? I did use left tackle and right tackle as my focus because we probably do need one. Henry Waters we're probably not going to be in play for. Joe Riley ends up being a true round 2 to 3 guy. Good to know. Good to know. Right tackle 2 to 3 on Chase Glenn. Also good to know. What about Jaquez Kidd? We'll scout him. We'll also scout... I did scout this guy, Damian Favors. He ends up being a true round 1 talent. That's also interesting. Linebacker class, at least outside, does not look good at all. Corners, we're not really in the market for a corner. We have some pretty good ones. We did just lose Sean Wade, though. So maybe we scout one just for the heck of it, but there doesn't really look like there's anybody that I want to take. Certainly not in the first round. I think we just stick with offensive linemen. That's probably our biggest need. So let's just stick with some offensive linemen. Let's confirm some true talent grades for some of these tackles. So let's go for a guy like... Oh, I don't know. How about we go for a guy like Braden Albert, and we go for a guy like Sherrod Mitchell. 6'7". Joe Riley's 6'8". So we'll go for those 3 guys, Jacques Kidd, and then those 2 left tackles. And maybe one of them can be the future franchise left tackle for our organization. I also need to know if any of them were mocked in the early first round. Were they pretty good? I don't know. Let's go find out how good they were, though. Left tackles, we got a round 2 to 3, round 3 to 4, and a round 1 to 2. Sherrod Mitchell. Good to know. Okay. Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. What about right tackle? We got Jacques Kidd is a round 2 to 3 guy. And then that D tackle, where is he at? There he is, Damian Favors. Okay, so I've got my board of guys that I need to see. I also need, I shouldn't have backed out. I forgot to do a little bit of mock draft. Are any of the guys that I looked at, are they in the top of the class? It doesn't look like it. Okay, Jacques Kidd and Joe Riley are at the back half, and there's Damian Favors. So a couple of our guys are mocked to go in the later round, or later part of the first round, right above where we are, right below where we are with Bob Lynn. That's going to make for an interesting pick 24, that's for sure. Very interesting pick 24. Let's get to the draft, though. Start drafting. Giants have the number 1 overall pick. Who do they take? They take Henry Waters, left tackle. That would probably make a lot of Giants fans very upset if they took that in real life. But hey, you need left tackles. All right. Wow, Emery Carter fell. He's a top 5 true talent, and he's still here. He must suck if he's still here. Other teams must have scouted him. He's probably bad. I'm not going to take that. I've already missed on too many different offensive linemen. I can't have another offensive lineman that doesn't have a development trait. The guy that we were mocked to take is Ben Baldwin. He doesn't look bad, but I don't think he's the guy for us. I think it's going to be one of the guys that we took, either Joe Riley or Jacques something, whatever his name was. Jacques Kidd. I think it's going to be one of those 2 guys. So who looks better? Does Jacques Kidd look better? He's 6'7". He's got pretty good athletics with elite strength. I like that. He's a decent impact blocker. He's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker, I think. So, I mean, we could use that if we need to block for Ramondre Stevenson. But what about Joe Riley? 6'8". He's got elite strength as well. Injury doesn't matter because injuries aren't on. They look very similar. They look very, very similar. I think Jacques Kidd is a little bit better. I don't know, because he's got C's on his pass blocking, and Joe Riley had B's, right? He had 1 B on his, so he's not that much better. Oh, that's tricky. I think that Jacques Kidd is the better of the 2. But that's a tough one. I don't really know. I'm going to take Jacques Kidd. Yeah! Development trade. The drafting god returns. All right. That's a solid one. I'll take that. And then we pick again at pick 24 thanks to Minnesota. So, Minnesota! The top 5 guy's still here. He must be really bad. The other teams must have scouted him and found out how bad he is. Christian Tate. He's got great speed. I don't know if I could pass up a wide receiver with great speed in a spot like this. This is where we were mocked to take the tight end, Bob Lynn, and he does look pretty good. If he had elite acceleration or elite speed, I'd probably take him. He does look decent. Is he better than the receiver? The receiver probably wouldn't have a chance to play because we got Marvin Harrison, we've got Demario Douglas, we've got Jalen Polk, we've got Javon Baker. So we already have, and we have KJ Osborne. We have 4 or 5 wide receivers. Tight end, we really only have 1. I'm going to take Bob Lynn. Having a tight end named Bob, which technically is Robert, which is also Rob Gronkowski. It's just a different variation of it. I feel like that's a solid pickup. Then we go to the second round, and Christian Tate is still available. Why do you do this to me? I was hoping he'd be gone so I wouldn't be tempted with taking him. Okay, so the left tackles, we got Sherrod Mitchell. I gotta grab Sherrod Mitchell here. I can't take the freaking wide receiver. Sherrod Mitchell looks too good. Yeah, he looks about as good as the other guys we were debating in the first round. So, Sherrod Mitchell, you're my guy. Welcome to my team. We grab a stud in the second round. Now we go to the third round. And if that wide receiver's there again, I can't pass up on it. Oh, okay, he is finally gone. James Harden. James Harden from Stanford. I don't think there's any good strip clubs in Stanford, California. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. A lot of wide receivers left on the board. Ooh, there's a middle linebacker. Isaac Leno from Alabama. He must be pretty good if he played at Alabama and he's white. So he's got to have some sort of talent. Let's see. What else we got? Greg Fisher. We got Troy Blackburn from UCF. Elite speed. A-zone coverage. I got to take him. I can't pass up elite speed on an outside linebacker. I don't care if he's got a development trait or not. I cannot pass up elite speed on an outside linebacker. That's too enticing. Too enticing. Fourth round pick. What do we got? What do we got? Is James Harden still available? Let's see. What do we got? We got Isaiah Butler from Arizona State. I wish he would have went to Butler. He doesn't look that good. Then he got Quincy Hurst from Wake Forest. Also looks garbage. What else do we got? Max Dubois. Southern Miss. Kind of looks bad. He could have a development trait, but he doesn't look great. Tremaine Williams, receiving back from Western Kentucky. He spells Tremaine very strangely. Doesn't look like there's anybody good. I might just let the CPU handle this. Malachi Gerard from West Virginia. West Virginia looks good enough. Normal development, more depth on the offensive line. I didn't really have any other options, so might as well grab somebody. I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft. We got some pretty good players this time. I'm happy with this draft. I think we filled some needs. Got a little bit of depth. And hopefully this year, in year number 3, we can be Studley and make a Super Bowl. 72 for Kidd, 72 for Bob Lynn, 73 for Sherrod Mitchell. Blackburn's a 71. The rest are kind of garbage, but that's okay, because I'm assuming some of them are going to have development traits, because that's what the CPU usually does. Best player in the class was a 77 overall. This class sucked. There you have it. This class was bad. Certainly not as good as the class that we just had in the first year, where we got Hebert. But let's officially take a look at this team headed in year number 3 and kind of get a feel for what the team looks like in Drake Maye's 3rd season. We will adjust the lineup. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So we've got a solid offensive line. We got a stud right guard in Onwenu. We picked up Mekhi Becton. Dobbins is doing pretty good. We've got 2 good tight ends. We've got some really good receiving weapons. I am going to make Jalen Polk now our official 3rd wide receiver. I think I had that last year. Maybe it got switched. I don't know. Ramondre is great. Drake Maye, I need another big step up from you. And then defensively, I like our linebacking core. Wow, actually, Spears has jumped over Uche. Okay. Cool. Whoever plays good, I guess. Doesn't really matter at this point. Corners are great. Safeties are great. Defensive line's great. Let's win a championship. Oh, that's maybe a little too ambitious. Let's go to the playoffs and make a deep run. If we win a championship, awesome. If we don't, it's still not going to be the end of the world. So I will simulate year number 3. Drake Maye, I need a big step up. Remember, we switched to Cincinnati's playbook, so hopefully we're going to be good. We wrap up year number 3 with Drake Maye, and we finally make the playoffs as a confident team. We don't just sneak in at 10 wins, barely get in. We actually won our division and host a playoff game. Now, we weren't the number 1 seed because we're playing in the wild card, but we still are a actual playoff team and not just oh, we barely made it in as the 6 or 7 seed. No, we are a top 4 seed. We won our division. We are a big-time playoff team. Drake Maye's finally arrived. Hopefully with this Bengal playbook, he can have a really good season, and it looks like he has. 4,200 yards, 32 touchdowns, and just 6 picks, 71% completion percentage. The Bengals playbook has done wonders for Drake Maye. Love to see it. 990 and 13 touchdowns for Ramondre Stevenson. That's still pretty good. Marvin Harrison Jr., 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. Maserati Marv has a really good year. Demario Douglas, 976 and 6. Jalen Polk, crucially, 747 and 5. I like to see that. How did the defense do? Willie Gay led the team at 105 tackles. Quinyon Mitchell, 93. Marte Mapu, 92. Gonzalez had 88. Wow, this dude's unbelievable. 17 tackles for loss. Keon White had 14. Barmore had 13. 10.5 led the team, Barmore did, with sacks. Hebert had 7. White had 6.5. Tui Peloto had 4. Interception leader Willie Gay and Marcus Jones both had 2. A couple guys had 1. But we're looking pretty sexy. Pretty sexy here in year number 3. And we got a playoff game to win. Let's do it. Bengals, Patriots. Big win, big win, big win. Beat the Bengals 42-21, but we're taking on I'm assuming the one-seeded Ravens. I don't know. This is not going to go well. Get a W, get a W, get a W, W. Nah, that's a loss. We'll get there eventually. Don't you worry. We will be Super Bowl champions. I know it. I know we can do it. We just need to have another good offseason. And then next year could really be our year. Drake May, another year in the Bengal playbook. I do think we can do some dangerous things. And it looks like the Ravens have made the Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys, who are always in the Super Bowl. This is the most I've seen the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl in a long time here in Madden Simulation. And it looks like the Cowboys will lose finally. So they went 2 in a row, I think, and now the Ravens have finally conquered the demon and are now Super Bowl champions. Congratulations to Baltimore. And I'm assuming Lamar. Yes, Lamar Jackson won MVP of the Super Bowl. Mahomes gets MVP of the league. Lamar gets Offensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons goes back to Max Crosby. I don't know why I said Micah Parsons. Max Crosby goes back-to-back on Defensive Player of the Year. Micah Atkinson, tight end for the Commanders, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. He must have had a crazy season. And then Daniel Townsend, Saints defensive end. He wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. All right, let's get started here with the third offseason. We got a decent amount of cash. Let's make some re-signings. Let's get some free agents maybe, depending on how much money we have left. And then let's do some damage in the draft. All right, negotiations. Who needs a new contract? Christian Gonzalez accepted. Mekhi Becton coming back. Little 3-year extension. And yes, he's coming back. Perfect. Marcus Jones also going to come back. So we will bump his money up slightly. How about that? Boom, done. He's back. KJ Osborne is probably gone. Tyquan Thornton I do like, but he's probably gone. Bailey Zappi's gone. Actually, that's not too bad. And now we have Jabril Peppers again, who we need to extend because we didn't get him last year. We had to franchise tag him. So hopefully he accepts this. He does. He's back, and we have $52 million. Thayer Munford, I'll offer a little 2-year deal because we need some depth at tackle. He's going to come back. And KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, both are going to be gone, maybe. No, I'll bring back Tyquan Thornton, just because. Just because. So he's going to come back. But KJ Osborne, out of here. Bailey Zappi, out of here. Goodbye. It's not Zappi hour anymore. It is full price. Free agency, though. What do we got in free agency? Joe Tooney, bring him back for one more run. Deron Bland. The fact that Deron Bland has normal development is our crime. Jalen Phillips. Ooh, this is a good class. I like the look of this. Let me go take a look at what our roster needs first before I just go willy-nilly throwing out contracts to people. What do we need to make this team even better than what it is? So, ooh, Marvin got star development. That's nice. Offensive line looks studly. We've got wide receivers looking good. Lynn had superstar development. I am a drafting god. Let's see. Drake May's looking good. I wish he would have got superstar, but that's okay. Let's see. Polk looks good. Douglas, Thornton. Yeah. We're good. We're good. Baker's gonna start there. Then on the defense, linebackers are looking good. Defensive line, we could use another D tackle. And we're good on corner and we're good on safety. So we don't really need anything except for maybe a backup D tackle, a third string D tackle, something like that. So let's go into free agency and look exactly for that. What do we got? What's on the table for me? You got DJ Reader, BJ Hill, DJ and BJ, Eric Armstead, Michael Pierce. Okay, so there's some veterans here. There are some veterans here. Reader wants to be here, and so does Michael Pierce. They all have star development, so it's not like we're missing out on that. Let's go for... Let's go for DJ Reader, I guess. 2-year contract, 8.5, 9.5, and that's the best offer, so perfect. We'll bring him in. And he accepts. Perfect. So we got DJ Reader. Now we have 3 D tackles that I like with Barmore and Godshaw. Now we have DJ Reader thrown into the mix, and we're looking pretty darn sexual. There we go. Boom. Got it. D-tackle depth looks good, and now we're in a really good position where we can add basically best player available in the draft. It's not like we have to go specifically for some certain position. We can go best player available in the draft, and we can get Gucci. I don't even know what pick we have. We went to the divisional round of the AFC title, or the AFC playoffs, so we probably have around the high teens, maybe like 17 through 20, I would guess, is probably where we're picking. But I guess we'll find out in the mock draft. We will find out in the mock what our pick is going to be. Piek? Okay. Mock draft number 5. Let's take a look. What do we got here? Mock draft number 5. Buccaneers are taking number 1 right tackle. Okay. We pick at number 28. Wow. Okay. I was not expecting that. I was expecting us to be a little bit higher than that, but that's fine, I guess. I mean, we're not in the market for anybody crazy, so we'll take it. We'll stay at 28 and take whoever we need to take. Although I do think it could be a running back. I mean, they were mocked a running back, so might as well take him. That right tackle does end up going number 1 overall. Let's get to our pick at 28. PJ Steele goes. Let's see. Ooh, there's a center. I do like a good center. Rhett Brewer. Ooh, sexy. Rhett Brewer. He might be our guy. Michael Southward. Wasn't there a guy named Southward in the last draft? I feel like he was a tight end or something. Could have been. I think, was it Darryl Holiday that was the guy that was mocked to us? He could be good. We already have Ramondre, so it's not that big of a deal. Who's this guy? Mellow Shivers? Hardly know her. Oh my god, this is a legendary name, and he's actually a decent player. I'm going to take Mellow Shivers. Normal development, it's not like we need a crazy safety, but Mellow Shivers is a crazy name. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's going to be our first round pick. Who do we take now? Do we go another D tackle? George Davis, 6'4" with elite speed. I can't pass up an elite speed D tackle. That's a 4th D tackle for us. Bada bing, bada boom. We're hitting pretty good with the draft. They're not development traits, but we're hitting pretty good with the draft, I think. We're filling out some depth. We're doing some good things. Now I'm going to look for linebackers. Let's look for linebackers. Who do we got here? Ooh, who's this? Trayvon Bailey out of Texas Tech with great speed, elite acceleration. I'm sold. I'm sold. Don't care if he's normal development. He looks really solid. And that is probably going to be the last pick that I make. I'm really banking on the fact that we are good this year and win a Super Bowl, because those guys not having development trades is a little concerning, considering they might not develop as quickly, or they might not be as high of an overall as we might want them to be. Let's take a look. Are they good? 75 for Shivers. Are they nowhere? Davis, 72, 74 for Bailey. So all 3 of the guys that I picked are solid. Then they took a corner, Taylor Washington, who's a 71 overall. All right, not too bad. Was this class even any good? It had a 78 overall Eric Gomez, and then a couple 70s. So it wasn't really that good of a class either. Huh, that's a couple duds in a row. I mean, they're fine. They're not bad draft classes. Like, the highest player wasn't like a 75 or something. But they're not like the studly draft classes with the 80 pluses and all that kind of stuff that you want to have. So we enter year number 4 with Drake Maye. He's starting to play pretty well. He's starting to get a high overall. He's an 85 overall. We've got Marvin Harrison looking pretty sexy. We've got Demario Douglas. We've got Jalen Polk. We've got Javon Baker. Offensive line looks good. Tight ends are good. Ramondre's great. On the defense, we got some good depth with Bailey, with Bailey again, and Blackburn's also down there as a good backup middle linebacker. So we're looking pretty solid here. We brought in DJ Reader. We also have that Davis guy as a D tackle. Corner looks great. Safeties look good. Boom. We're solid. We're a championship team. We are. I truly believe we are a championship team. We just got to actually simulate like that, and hopefully we can with the Bengal playbook. Year number 2 of it. Drake Maye, I'm counting on you to lead us to the promised land. We wrap up the season. We are continuing to be very, very good. 13-4, win the division again. Unfortunately, we're not the 1 seed. Trying my best, but we're not the 1 seed. I think this team is good enough to be the 1 seed, and I think Drake May is progressing very well with this Bengal playbook, but we're just not getting there, and he is progressing. Oh my God, these are great numbers. 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for Drake May in the second year under this Bengal playbook. I think he's going to be very, very good in the future with this Bengal playbook. Ramondre had a good year, back over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison, 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns. Demario Douglas and Jalen Polk both had over 800 yards, so I like to see that. 2 guys that I like to hopefully develop even further. Willie Gay, 118 tackles, no surprise there. Kyle Duggar, 86. Gonzalez, 83. Good job, Gonzo. And Joel Hebert is just amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better player. Maybe Seymour is better statistically, but Hebert is just unbelievable. 20 tackles for loss and 15 sacks. This man is ridiculous. He's Micah Parsons. He's that good. Barmore had 10. Reeder had 11 tackles for loss. He led the team with 15 sacks. White had 6.5. Barmore had 4.5. Not a lot of interceptions. Patriots playbook doesn't get a lot of interceptions, but we get a lot of sacks. So give and take, I guess. I guess, whatever. Wild card playoffs, please don't be a one and done. That'd be super frustrating. Thank God, 21-14, we beat the good old-fashioned Cleveland Browns, and Drake May is now an 88 overall. Love to see that. Love to see that. How's the roster look in general? We're looking pretty good, actually. Drake May's playing up to a 91. The offense is looking pretty solid. Offensive line's looking good. Defensively, we're looking pretty good as well. I mean, Joel Hebert's just a freak of nature. Christian Gonzalez is unbelievable. I'm glad we're developing him. Glad we're developing him. This team is pretty darn crazy, that is for sure. Pretty darn crazy. So I can only hope that these Patriots can win a championship, because I think we've got the time. I think we've got the ability. I think we can do this. We play the Raiders. Please give me a W. Do not disappoint me. We have to go to Arrowhead, which is not great, but we do at least move to the AFC title game, so we're showing a little bit of progression. If we can beat the Kansas City Chiefs, then we are a real Super Bowl contender. I am going to jump in to try to help my team as best as possible, because I don't think we can win in simulation. Oh, let's go to Arrowhead and try to ruin the Kansas City Chief dynasty. All right, we're in Kansas City, in Arrowhead for the AFC title game. Tom Brady's made plenty of different appearances here against the Chiefs. And so has the Chiefs played against the Patriots. And it looks like, ooh, that must have been a quick turnover, because it's quick 2 scores. But I'm liking it. I don't think this would have happened this way if it would have been simulation. We have a 2-touchdown lead over the Chiefs, but it's Patrick Mahomes. They are battling back quickly. Our 2-touchdown advantage goes away quickly. But it's 35-21, late fourth quarter. Just hold on, boys. Just hold on for the W. Please. Do not let them score. Get the ball back and do something. I don't care. Just don't let the Chiefs score. I think we have the field goal. It's 38-28. Oh, my God. Get the recovery, and we win it. We win it in regulation in Kansas City. We are going to the Super Bowl. Drake May does not outperform Patrick Mahomes, but who got the win? Who got the win? The young buck. The new face of the franchise, the new face of the NFL. Chris Collinsworth's going to be sucking off Drake May, not Patrick Mahomes anymore. That's a big W, 38-35. And we go to the Super Bowl for the first time with Drake May. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And now we play the Philadelphia Eagles. So we have to go from the Chiefs to the Eagles. It just doesn't get easy. Give me a team that shouldn't be here, please. Give me like a Panther team or a freaking, I don't know, Vikings or somebody that shouldn't be here right now. But we have to play the Eagles. Luckily, we had a better record than them. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to beat them, but we did perform better during the regular season. All right, one more game, and Drake May is a Super Bowl champion. Come on, bring the dynasty home. Bring the dynasty home. It is the first Super Bowl appearance for the New England Patriots since the mid-90s. Or maybe the early 90s, whatever they lost to the Green Bay Packers and Brett Favre. It's the first Super Bowl appearance since then that does not involve Tom Brady. We won all our championships with Tom Brady, but this could be the first one that does not include him on the roster. I hope it happens, but this is a tough Philadelphia team, man. They are hungry. We're hungry too, but they might be hungrier. We may be a 300-pound man. They're a 400-pound man. They are hungry. 17-14, 24-14, fourth quarter action. Come on, Patriots, hold on. I built a good defense. 27-14, 27-21. Come on, New England. Win me the ball game. We did it. We held on. Champions again. The Patriot dynasty has returned. A Super Bowl title for New England. Drake Maye puts his name in rarefied air. The New England Patriots are back on top of the football world, man. I've been waiting for this since the last time they won the Super Bowl in, 2018 or something like that when they beat the Rams? Whenever they beat the Rams. Oh, God, I've been waiting for this. Or maybe that was 2019, something like that. Oh, I've been waiting for this for a long time. New England Patriots are the world champions again, and Drake Maye is the man that did it. Please let this become reality. Please let this, in 3 or 4 seasons, become what happens in real life. And Drake Maye's holding up a Lombardi at the end of the season. Please, baby Jesus, football gods, whoever I need to talk to, please allow this to be a reality because I crave it. I need the Patriots to be back on top because I am sad. Oh, all right. Big W. We get the championship. We have officially rebuilt the New England Patriots and Drake Maye and got the dynasty back on track. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Unless you're not a Patriot fan, then you hate to see it. But you love to see it if you're a Patriot fan. And Joel Hebert just continues to... Every time I go and upgrade players, it's always like Hebert's in there. He's just the best player of all time. Demario Douglas, he must have had some sort of... What would he have done? Kick return touchdown, maybe? I don't know what he would have done to get player of the game, but he did. He got MVP. Joe Burrow wins MVP of the league. Saquon Barkley gets Offensive Player of the Year. Quinnen Williams wins Defensive Player of the Year. Billy Petrowski, tight end for the Colts, gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then D-tackle Grant Wiggins for the Bills is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. But none of that matters because the Patriots are world champions again, and Drake Maye is the quarterback that got him there. He's superstar development. Marvin superstar development. Michael Wenyu is superstar development. He must have won Offensive Player of the, or Offensive Lineman of the Year. That's the only way you can grow as an offensive lineman. Look at all of this. It just warms the old Patriot heart. And he's only 25. He's still on his rookie deal. You got a dynasty right here with your franchise quarterback. Look at these accuracies. This man's a stud. He's an absolute stud. And getting Marvin Harrison was insane. I can't believe that we pulled that off. Oh, look at that. Willie Gay goes up to normal or star development. Hebert's a superstar X Factor now, so I don't feel bad about drafting him now because he's just a freak of nature. This dude is unbelievable. Oh, my God. This man is so talented. It's actually insane. Wow, those are some good numbers. Those are some real good numbers. He's a freak of absolute nature. That's what the team looks like. We rebuilt the Patriots, so we've officially successfully rebuilt the Bears with Caleb Williams. We've rebuilt Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, and now we've rebuilt Drake Maye and the New England Patriots. All we got to do is the Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix, the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix, and J.J. McCarthy with the Minnesota Vikings. So if you went on to enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.